back from our trip around Cartagena.
Cartagena. I'm trying to pronounce it properly, but anyway, Columbian.
So we've just got around from there and thought we'd first of all update you on our meal last night and then a little bit about our trip. So the meal last night, we went in and we asked if we could not sit on one of the benches.
Because they have a padded bench with a table and then one chair. But both of us suffer knees and feet and God knows what problems. So we asked for 2 actual chairs. We got a much better table, didn't we?
Yeah, we got a table actually for 4 with proper chairs, which was a lot better.
Yeah.
And there was a larger amount of separation. In fact, actually looking across the whole of the restaurant, I think that it's only where you're sitting on the benches, which is where you're 2 people having effectively a private table, and they put you on those benches. You're really crammed in. When you are able to move off the benches and into the wider restaurant, you get a lot more space, less packed. And actually, I thought the service was better. We had a very good waiter.
Very good waiter called
Edgar. Yeah. And Edgar
kept giving us different courses that we hadn't ordered, and then we felt obliged to eat them.
As well as the courses that we had.
Because it would be rude not to, so we ended up having 5 courses,
something like
5
that.
or 6 courses.
The food was very good.
It was very nice.
Yeah.
We were absolutely stuffed. And I am not doing that tonight because Steve would like to go on to the same waiter. I don't want to because I don't want the food. It's not that much food. I like food, don't get me wrong, but he just kept bringing extra dishes, didn't he? And we felt obliged to not, we had to eat them because it would be rude. So anyway.
But it was a lot better service.
It was, and he was lovely.
He was very nice. He was very polished, very friendly.
One of the older ones,
and
he knows what they're doing.
Yeah, he obviously knew what he was doing and been around it for some time. So both of us felt that he provided a very good service. And then the rest of the evening we had a drink in Crooners, which was very nice. I had a gin tonic. You had, I think, a vodka Coke. Some wine with the meal. I found the Merlot. Very partial to a Merlot, particularly. It's my sort of wine of preference, if you like, when I'm on a cruise.
I just had water.
And she just had water.
Anyway, and then we got up this morning, didn't we? We just went for breakfast in the buffet, and then got on the coach and we went. It was the Scenic City tour, wasn't it?
It was the Scenic City tour.
The old part and the new part.
The first stop off was the old city walls. Where
inundated with people trying to sell you something.
It was like flies round the honey.
In fact, the whole tour, wherever we got off, there was just lace tablecloths, jewellery, handbags, hats. Thousands of hats,
plastic sunglasses,
everything. It was
wooden chess sets,
and it just went on, and Columbian coins, all done on bits of cardboard and stuff. And I mean, I just kept going, no thank you, no thank you, no thank you, and walking on.
But they
still pester. It's really bad. But
But we got some nice pictures of the old city walls, but we unfortunately didn't go into the old city. We were just on the periphery.
Yeah.
And we were only there probably for about 10 minutes.
There.
Right up the hill. Okay, you got it.
Yes, it's different. No, thank you.
Look at the mate.
No, thank you.
Stand over there so you get my
Is it hot here?
Pardon?
Is it very hot here?
It is hot, isn't it? Oh, take a...
So it was really hot in the city, and then we got back on the bus, and we went to a folk show, local, folk dancing show, and I was thinking, oh, this is going to be absolute rubbish, but it was really, really good, and they had beautiful girls and lovely young men, and they had beautiful colourful costumes on, and they did local dancing, and it was absolutely wonderful.
A bit like you, I didn't know really what to expect. The thing I really liked, I did like dancing, but the thing I did like was to look at a Columbian home. You sort of see the facade, but it was nice to go beyond the facade and have a look at the way it was constructed internally and the courtyard where the dancing was performed. It was really good.
Well, when we first got there, actually, they were chopping down some palm trees to the side, this little garden to the side, and no health and safety whatsoever. I think Steve's filmed some of it. Hopefully you'll see here. But it was lovely. It was wonderful. So things that I didn't think were going to be very good were actually very good.
Cartagena.
And the African people are represented in the drums. Look at the one, the drums. Europeans. The Europeans are represented in the gaita. The one we call it gaita, ¿sí? Gaita.
And then we got back on the coach and we went on to our next step. Stop. Next stop. A bit of a mouthful
And any
there.
Merlot.
Yeah, I haven't had the Merlot today, but we went on to the next stop, which was that the Naval
Naval Museum, which was quite interesting. How the old part of the city and the new part and
basically
became
how
a part.
it
It became,
how the battlements were created, how they were breached at various points in time. The actual content of the museum was largely describing that, or modern interpretations of what life would have been like at various points in time. So there was a mock-up of a boat, there's a couple of mock-ups of pirates.
How Spain became involved, and they're a bit of everything, African and Spanish, and a bit of everything. So that was quite nice.
So there Steve was filming away, and then from a pillar this lady appeared in a beautiful colourful dress demanding money from him. What could that mean? It just meant that you had to pay her some money because she was on the film. I don't think he did actually, I think he scarpered.
The Jesuits built the church, the one I showed you from the bus, that has a beautiful dome. They built the monastery and they built the college. In Boca Chica, the Spanish Spaniards built this one.
And then we went to the church.
Yes.
What was the church called? Was it San Pedro?
Yes, it was.
San Pedro Church, which was quite nice. I sat in a pew and there was big, huge fans everywhere. So I just sat in front of a
It
fan.
was nice going into it. You sort of like went into a courtyard garden which had loads of what should I say, giant sort of palmy trees. It was really nice actually. It was a lot of light coming through from the top. It was open, but the plants made a very attractive entrance into the church, and the church itself was lovely. You know, plain white inside with some lovely stained glass windows and a nice altar. It was very, very nice.
Could I just say that we follow a couple of guys called Nick and Lee, who are the Lodge guys on YouTube, and they were going on about they've got these fans which you put around your neck, and they charge up with a USB, don't they?
Yeah.
And honestly, it was a life changer with the cool air. So I could thank you to them for recommending those on their YouTube, because it saved my life, I think, because I was very hot.
It might not be a fashion statement, no.
Don't care,
You know.
as long as I'm cool. I mean, it was 32 degrees and it was really humidity and the mugginess of the city. It was very, very hot. Anyway,
And
thanks to them
we
for that.
left the church.
So yes, so we went to the church and then we walked through where they were selling more stuff again, badgering you again, weren't they?
Yeah.
It's very hot in here. I'm sitting next to a great big huge fan, so it's better. These are brilliant. Got this idea from the Lodge guys. Thank you, Nick and Lee, because it's so good. First time of using it today and very good.
The water founder, the Jeffries owner, after the independence hospital, San Juan de Dios. In 1887, when they came to Claver, from 1654, when he died, was the only person trying to make it easier African people in Cartagena. He was not
I had this burning desire to go 2 roads up where, when I was researching it, I knew there was a load of street art, but we were being kept in tight check. More ladies in colourful dresses. Time to beat a retreat.
And then it was largely a trip back home.
Trip back, yeah, and then you had to go through this park to get back to the ship, and there was quite a few animals and things, and monkeys and birds,
Yeah.
anteater, which was quite interesting.
Well, the anteater was asleep. In fact, there were
Well,
two
don't blame him.
anteaters, and they were both asleep.
Yeah.
Some peacocks. We had peacocks at home, which sounds very impressive.
It says
if
I
lived
have a
in
stately home. We don't. No,
We don't.
they escaped from a stately home that was near us.
And they
and I just-
basically
I
took
just,
up in our garden.
we just put a whole load of new plants in, and
They
little-
dug them up.
they're little horrors.
Yeah.
Picked them all up, didn't they?
Yeah, and also they were quite vicious.
They were actually, yeah.
They were sort of. We had at the time some large French windows, and we had the peacocks on one side and us on the other.
And they were at the
Yeah.
window, weren't they?
Yeah, quite
nasty,
aggressive.
yeah.
You know. But these ones were safely behind a bit of distance and a bit of a enclosure, and they didn't really bother us.
No, although I did witness tiny little monkey, but I wasn't quick enough to catch it on film. Came down from one of the trees and people were eating, and he nicked a great big lump of cheese and he went up on top of the umbrella and was just sitting there eating it, and then he was off again. I just couldn't get my camera out quick enough, unfortunately.
And you went through this sort of, garden area with these animals, which was quite nice. And then it sort of guided you into shops. And those shops seemed to be
Did you
quite
go in the
expensive.
shops? Because I
did.
thought I'd had enough by then. I was too hot, and I didn't go in the shops. So
I did go in the shops.
I just kept putting one foot in front of the other, back to the ship,
But it was quite expensive in there. There was some quite nice jewellery, some jewellery you would have liked, so a green agate type stone in a silver setting.
Good if I didn't go in then, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And then you could go past some duty-free shops if you wanted to get duty-free, and you then had the choice of either hopping on a shuttle bus back to the ship, but given that you could see the ship and it looked no more than about 3 or 4 minutes walk, I think we both decided to
I was way
back.
ahead of him by this time.
Yeah, I got detoured taking us some.
There is actually a shuttle bus that takes you from that park right to where you board the ship, but it's really not that far to walk. So I just decided on my own I was going to walk it, and then I saw Steve way back deciding he was going to walk it. But we were greeted with a cucumber cold water and a nice cold flannel, which was nice.
And we timed it just right because the queues to get back onto the ship weren't particularly large at that time.
Yeah.
But I could see them filling up quite quickly behind me.
Oh, could you?
Yeah.
I was already on board by then.
were some absolutely fabulous houses en route back to the ship, like these ones, that have been in the same families for decades. Santita is not dead, it's just sleeping. Another lady in colourful attire, but this one isn't approaching me for money. Coyote's making a run for it. And up ahead I spy Joanne getting onto the ship.
And then we met up again, went up to the restaurants, the buffet restaurant, and just had a snacky lunch, salad, and in my case I had a mousse for dessert.
And I had an orange.
And tonight we're back at Da Vinci's, which is the main dining room, and obviously seeing whether or not we can use the same strategy as we used last night.
Well, she did say she'd made a note
Yes.
on her little thing.
But
iPad
whether
thing.
that means anything, we'll see.
We'll see, yeah.
You know. Oh, the other thing, last night was a formal. I think I spotted 3 people in tuxedos,
Yeah.
and probably about half the men weren't wearing ties,
Yeah.
and probably about 20,
I even saw a man in a Hawaiian shirt,
Yeah.
and they let him in.
20 to 30% weren't
Most of them did have
jackets.
a shirt and a tie and a jacket, but you certainly don't need a dicky bow, black penguin job, not a penguin
certainly tuxedo.
dress suit, tuxedo. Yeah.
You know, so that's something to be aware of if you're coming again. Neither of us particularly like dressing up. We've got very used on celebrity to still go in long trousers and a shirt with a collar. But the shirt with a collar could be a polo shirt, it could be a Hawaiian shirt.
As long as it's got a collar.
Yeah. And we like that.
But
we like that all night.
different cruise companies, different rules, isn't it? So,
Yeah.
but
And that's it really, until we meet again.
so we're going to have a nice iced drink now. this looks lovely. Really good.
We hope you've enjoyed our time in Cartagena. Next time we will be going through the Panama Canal locks. If you'd like to follow us, please like, subscribe and ring that bell for further notifications. Look forward to seeing you next time.